it's okay to let go. You're not alone, stand your ground, take it slow. The way you've been shown, trust yourself, you to get through.
Good morning. So I think there was a little issue this morning with me hitting the beautiful music that was written and the video. So I'm not sure what I did incorrectly, but I am so happy to have you here. So if you could hear me, just give a thumbs up in the chat. So today we're talking about, and today's Friday, February 7th. So I'm wearing red. It is Red Dress Day. It's not a dress, but in honor of Red Dress Day. As you know, February is Heart Health Awareness Month. And we're going to talk a little bit about heart health in a moment. But part of anything that we're doing is about changing our attitudes. And yesterday, the last couple of days, I've had a little bit of a meltdown. So I wanted to share that with you because I think, as we talk about the universal laws of the universe, right? The first one being the divine oneness, and the one that we're focusing on this month, which is the law of vibration. And that by using our words, we raise each other up. By using our words poorly, we lower our vibration. And it's also to be aware and have, a real life-size mirror view of who you are. I am joy, I am connection, and I am healing. But I don't always feel that. And, I kid around that it's taken me 6 decades to be at this point in my life. That means there's a lot that needs to be maybe not undone as a human, as a person, as a soul, as a spirit, because all of those elements make me who I am. And I am a vulnerable, complicated person. Sorry, I'm readjusting myself here. And so we know this about ourselves, right? I mean, none of us are perfect. We all struggle. We all have demons. We all have regrets. Now, I try not to live in regrets, but there are things that I have done in my life, and as recently as this past week, where I wish I had listened to my advice and paused. Pause before I speak or before I spoke. And it's been very emotional. It's been a very cathartic day or two. And so I want to talk about that before we jump in to the heart health, because it is connected. When you're feeling defeated, it can be really challenging, right? You have a wound. And forgive me, I can't recall if we talked about it here or if I talked about it on someone else's channel, or even with a friend. I've been in self-healing mode for a couple of days. So, when you have these wounds that are open, it's almost, if you think about when you were kids and all the behaviors that you did as kids with other kids, you had a rhythm. Sometimes it was antagonistic, sometimes it was fun. But when you see each other as adults, you almost revert back to that little kid, that wounded soul that still has hurt feelings. I've carried some things through my life as an adult, and I've experienced things as an adult that, whether you're in therapy, whether you pray and talk to God, right now I think God's going to turn his hearing aid off because it's been a little bit crazy, um, with how much I've been talking to him. I think, whether you're in meditation, and I have done at least a half a dozen meditations in the last 2 days alone, two this morning. And so, how do we raise our vibration? How do we stay in that moment of reality and not revert back to old patterns and old behaviors? So as I was preparing for today and thinking about today, and I've got my crutch pillow here to sort of comfort me, it is to take a moment. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. And how we feel about ourselves and how we fit in the world and how we fit in our families and how we meld with our friends, and that's all stuff that we have to be truthful about to ourselves. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. So one of the things that we can do is to practice gratitude. And that really means just taking a moment to reflect on something that you are grateful for. If it helps you to write it down, whether it's in a full sentence or a bullet point. And another creator on YouTube is going to be talking about journaling in the next few weeks. I too talk about journaling. There are several of us creators. We all, I think similarly, because writing things down is a reflection. It's a mirror of how we're feeling. And there are many ways to do that. And so you can have a specific gratitude journal where you are happy that you have your hands, your feet, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your body. You could be grateful for the sun and the moon and the stars. You could be grateful for your pets and your family, your friends, whomever. Find something to be grateful for. Be grateful that the sun came out. And even if it's not in your neighborhood, the sun did come out somewhere in this universe. How fantastic is that? The moon is somewhere in our universe right now shining. So find one thing to be grateful for. And try to shift your thought process from what's wrong to what's right. And so that is part of the law of vibration. How do we raise that vibration from feeling petty or bitter, like a spoiled child, a hurt child, a wounded child? We were cared for. I have to change that vibration myself. And I am grateful for another creator, because yesterday when I was having a major meltdown, for some reason I looked at YouTube and she was having her show, and I'm going to give her a shout out, Blessed to Crochet, Mary, and all of the folks that were on her channel raised me up. Their voices raised me up. Oh, thank you, Maya. Thank you for being here. So I think that, we do have to look for comfort, support, encouragement within our communities. One of the things that hits me most deeply is that community isn't in person as much as it used to be. You can't open the door and walk out and have a conversation with somebody anymore. It's a way of things that have changed since 2020 and COVID. So can we find our way back? Yes, but it's more difficult to find like-minded people, people who don't think you're a little bit out there. Now, look, I am a little bit out there. I believe in things that intricately, intricately are woven together with what I believe to be faith, what I believe to be a higher power, Mother Earth, Father Sky. I believe that there are energies out there that are more than what we know. And it doesn't make it good, bad, or indifferent. It's what works for me. I don't have to prescribe or subscribe to a specific religious category in order to have faith. I believe in a higher power. And so for me, I can take those few moments and pray whatever version of prayer works for me. My intentions are always to be better and to be good and to live in the love and the light that exists in the world. So what that channel did for me yesterday was make me feel less alone in the world. So I don't believe Mary is watching today, but if this gets to you, Mary, thank you so much, because that channel really raised my vibration yesterday and took me out of a deep hole that I was in. Another way of raising your vibration is through mindfulness and meditation. Hey, Brazy. So Brazy is one of the ones on Mary's channel yesterday that really helped raise my vibration and was there as a support for me. So, big heart love to you for that. And I think that, we can spend a few minutes meditating or practicing mindfulness. This can help calm our minds. It can help settle us, because when we're hurt, when we're wounded, when we're angry, frustrated, it's very difficult to rein in those words. And again, just thinking negative thoughts lowers your vibration. So it's really how in our thoughts can we change the channel from being a pissed off human, irrationally so, in my case, to calmer, more thoughtful person who can affect some kind of change. And look, not all of us are going to fit into a birth family. We're just not, sometimes, I don't want to say the damage has been done. And maybe somebody in the chat can help me with the wording, but sometimes the painting has been painted. It's done, right? It's been sculpted out for us. It's been, dried and hung on a wall, and it is what it is. And in order to redefine that painting, you would have to start from scratch. I do, and I use this analogy a lot. I talk about kintsugi, which is the shattered vase metaphor, and that you have to put it back together, and you can do that lovingly with gold. But that is reshaping your behaviors, your thoughts, and your words. The others that may be affiliated with you in that big, beautiful vase that got shattered in your family, they're not going to be on the same page as you. And the fact comes down to you can't change that. I can't change how anyone sees me. I can't change how someone respects me. And in the end, I have to learn to be okay with that, right? We have to be okay with who we are. I am joy. I am connection. I am healing. That's who I am. And so find the time with your meditation, find your time for mindfulness, find your time with gratitude. And similarly, or along those lines, find the opportunity to do some physical, exercise. Now, I'm going to pause just briefly, because this is going to all coincide with our heart health discussion in a minute. But keep in mind that exercise really releases those endorphins. It boosts your mood. And so whether you're walking, doing chair yoga, um, uh, some other intense workout, or lifting, or boxing, whatever that workout is for you, that physical release could be cleaning your house. Um, it's critical to the mind. After this today, I've dedicated the whole day. I'm tuning off from YouTube and TV, and I'm just putting on some music, and I am doing a major winter/spring cleaning and unpacking. I've been in this apartment now. Well, come March, it'll be 3 years, and I still have stuff I haven't unpacked. I moved from a pretty big apartment, pretty big house, to a smaller apartment. It's a lovely home, very little storage. And so I've been living in out of containers. Well, here's the thing. If I haven't seen that stuff in 2 years, do I really need what's in those containers? So it's going to be very cathartic for me, and in letting go, because if and when I move again, and I will, it will be to a smaller place, right? Because as I age, um, and as our world is evolving, I don't know what kind of benefits I'm going to receive. Being on disability, I'm at the beck and call of people taking my money and making decisions with it, and I may or may not have that money. I don't know. So I'm definitely going to be living tiny as I move forward. And since the heart attack, what I found was so many things that I held in high importance don't matter. So I just found that interesting. Okay, continue. So also, to lift your mood, one of the things that, and I mentioned it a moment ago, I'm going to turn everything off and I'm going to jam to some music. Music is seriously medicine. And I don't know, if anybody has a favorite band, or a favorite singer, or what have you. I totally deal with things with different types of music. So I have my beautiful classical music, very, relaxing, thought provoking, very meditative for me in some ways. I have the opera from when I'm cooking and I feel like I'm, you know, um, some kind of chef that I'm enjoying myself. And then I have individual singers that I love, but I love to jam and dance around. And it can be any kind of music that just has good rhythm. And so I use that as a form of exercise, and I use that as a form of therapy. So I would encourage you, and I'm sure you all do. We all have our kick in the butts, and so music definitely can elevate you. The other thing is connecting with nature, and I know so many other creators talk about this, but seriously, if you're not able, like right now, for some of you, you're in very chilly um, areas. I think our temperature today, and I am going to check because it's climbed up to a balmy 29, though it feels like 11 degrees Fahrenheit. I should figure out what Celsius is, but I'll do that for next time so I can include those of you that use Celsius. But it's chilly. There's a breeze, and that's what really makes it cold. That's why it feels like 11 degrees. And we had snow the other day, and I am very wary of walking when I know there's ice. If I fall and injure myself, I'm in a pickle. And especially with the two puppies, because um, my little biscotti, God bless him. I wish he's sitting in the window right now, so I'm not going to bother him. But he'd lick me to death, but he's not going to pull me to the house. Um, and though Luca might consider dragging my butt to the house, um, he's more just going to look at me like, I don't know. My mother's on the ground. Do I do something? I don't bark. Who am I going to tell? So the dogs are going to be of no help for me. Um, Sit on your stoop for a minute. Bundle yourself up, wrap yourself up, go outside. And if it's daytime, stare at the sky, look at the clouds, take in the breath, and remember that we are connected. We are all interconnected. Oh, my gravy. Yeah, 11. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's chilly. And it's been an interesting winter so far. New England usually has lots of snow, and we haven't had as much snow, but the chill in the air has been biting. Um, and again, that doesn't compare. Hey, Lindsay, it doesn't compare to some of you that might be in the northern states or in Canada or wherever you may be. I've been watching other creators that are shivering in their boots, and there's a new creator I just started to follow, um, and actually I think it's Lindsay who goes outside and does these wonderful things. And I'm thinking, what crazy chick is standing out in the cold, shivering in her breeches? And yet she's very calm and she gives this beautiful, sort of meditative, introspective, loving experience. And I'm actually on the couch going, it's very cold here. But again, connecting with nature helps raise your vibration. Music helps you raise your vibration. -20. Oh my word, Brace. Yeah, God bless. I mean, seriously, I hope you all are staying warm and toasty. Um, and then the other way to help raise your vibration and get you out of that is your affirmations. And look, I'm I'm someone who uses affirmations along with my hypnosis. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share a little bit with you folks, because people get scared when I say hypnosis. And I am going to do a whole show on the conversation about hypnosis, but it's really just changing a thought pattern. And I will use weight loss for a moment as an example and then get back to the affirmations. So keep me honest if I get distracted. Oh my God, Arctic Norway here. Yes, it does sound like Arctic Norway. Um, so let's just say that you are a sugar junkie. You just can't quit the habit of sugar, but you know you need to and you want to change your behavior. Every single night before you go to bed, just before you fall asleep. So it's that in between state that your mind is receptive to repetition. And this does coincide with affirmation. There is a phrase that you can use 10 times in a row because that's how your brain will receive this sort of mantra, for lack of a better word. Every day, in every way, I am going to eat healthier, excluding sugar from my diet. And you can make it whatever wording. Every day, in every way, I'm not going to eat a devil dog. Every day, in every way, I am not going to eat a devil dog. And you do that 10 times. Do that for a couple of days. After 2 or 3 days, do the same thing, not only at night, but when you first wake up. Every day in every way, I'm not going to eat devil dogs. Every day in every way, I'm not going to eat devil dogs. And repeat it. Hey, Shannon. So it's very important to help your mind. So that's an affirmation, right? An affirmation. I am strong. I am capable. I am worthy. I am deserving. Whatever you need to feel about yourself, I am beautiful every day in every way. You know, we sometimes think that beauty is only this outside. beauty is really has nothing to do with the outside, because if I can't see you, I don't know if you're beautiful. The only way I know you're beautiful is by your voice, by your behavior, by your actions, by your words, by your generous spirit, right? That's how we know we're beautiful. So, what affirmation's most important to you? And that's tied into mindfulness. That's tied into your connection with music. That's tied to your connection with meditation. It's you want to reach your higher self. And we need to, someone can have an opinion. It's their opinion. Don't own it. Don't own their opinion, even if it's a positive opinion. How do you feel? And I've been working very hard. I've been working with this wonderful teacher. And it's really determining, who are we? Who am I? It's not what I do. It's really, it's not, who am I? I'm not a mother. I mean, you can be a mother, but that's not who you are. That is sort of what your assignment has been. You're a mother, you're a sister, you're an auntie, you're an uncle. I don't know if there's any fellows watching. It's I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm a practitioner. That's what you do for a career. Who are you? That's why I keep saying, I am joy. That's who I am. I am joy. I am connection. I am love. I'm healing. That's me. That's my inherent being. I am light. My light feels dimmed the last couple of days. So I need to shake up that fogginess and that dimness and bring back the light. And that comes down from looking in the mirror, saying those positive affirmations, reaching out to friends and saying, I'm struggling today. I'm just not feeling it. And that's why I didn't go live yesterday. I really was very emotional over some things that I was experiencing. I have to accept responsibility that I allowed things to penetrate my spirit, and I reverted back to old patterns. And so, it's like you have to step back. But what I did do was surround myself with positive people. And I got to go on, witness Blessed to Crochet Mary and all of her wonderful people that were on that show that raised me up yesterday. And I needed that. I really was in a dark place. A couple of other things, and then we'll dive into the heart health. So, and this also ties into heart health, just so that you know, vibration, the more positive you are, the more powerful your mind is and your intentions are, the healthier you are going to be. It's just a fact. So a couple of other things that you can do to help raise your vibration, obviously surrounding yourself with people. And we were talking again earlier about the fact that we're not always in the same room with each other. So how do we make that important? One of the things that I do miss is just going out with friends and walking around. And I don't, there's some folks locally that I could have that relationship with, but it just doesn't seem, it hasn't happened since 2020 with COVID. So that's going to come on me. That's me now. I have to own that and initiate. But the other community is this new one through YouTube and developing these relationships. And we might not be able to hug each other, but I'm a huge proponent of just creating a Zoom and just getting on and chatting. It doesn't have to be anything major, but yes, it would be very nice to support each other that way. Do something creative. So I love to crochet. I'm not very good at it. And I love to knit. I'm not very good at it. It comes with practice. I have some problems with my hands and my wrists, and I guess carpal tunnel. So I lose feeling really quickly when I start doing that. So I do paint by numbers. Do not laugh. I have made some beautiful paintings. Um, and the concentration and the thoughtfulness in it helps me. Other areas of creativity, I make my own butter. I make my own cream cheese. I make my own soap. Do I do it every single day? No. But this is stuff that um, elevates my creativity and allows me to get out emotions. And it's something that I feel good about. The other thing is practicing self-care. Self-care can look like many different things to ourselves. It could be a warm bath. It could be reading a book. It could be just doing something that makes you feel good. Um, if I were in a different financial position, I would go get a facial. I'd get my nails done. I really miss not getting my nails done. And I will again, just, not at this point in time. And, but do something. And finally, help someone else. Be there for someone else. A random act of kindness. So this leads me into heart health. And when we talk about heart health with women, and specifically women, right? So we are, I'm just trying to get to where I wanted to be in my notes for heart health. So I want to say it correctly. So the leading cause of death for women is cardiovascular disease in the United States. I can't speak for other countries. I'm only focusing on what I know to be true here in the US, because I would also say, and I would challenge the US, though given this particular climate, I don't see any of this changing. But European countries are more particular about ingredients in their foods. So it's on us to pay attention to that. So heart disease, cardiovascular disease, there's 1 in 3 deaths among women each year. At any age, it impacts women. Ben, hello. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. And so some of the symptoms for a woman, you could have chest pain, but please know that if you have discomfort in your neck, in your jaw, in your throat, nausea, vomiting, extreme fatigue, these are symptoms, or could be. Now, I want to say very clearly, I am not a medical professional. Definitely, if you're not feeling well, talk to your provider ASAP. So that's just, my little caveat there. I will figure out how to put a ticker tape banner down there that says, I am not a medical professional. But some of the risk factors, and this goes for all of us, it could be diabetes or hypertension, smoking. And again, please know I'm not judging any behaviors. She who lives in a glass house cannot throw stones. In physical inactivity, so not moving, being a couch potato, having a poor diet, being obese or a little extra fluffernutter. There are also pregnancy-related conditions and hormonal changes. So menopausal women need to pay attention. And there is a woman that I have known personally and believe in, and she also she's been certified in menopause health. And I'm going to put her name in the comments, in the description. I think I had shared it somewhere else recently. She's on Facebook. She does consulting. She's incredibly knowledgeable. I wish I had known about her when I was going through menopause. Even though mine was medically induced menopause for 5 years before my hysterectomy, even after, it would have been helpful to know some of this. But, can't go back in time. How do we prevent it? Well, this is what we're talking about, right? It's monitoring ourselves. It's eating smarter. It's monitoring our blood pressure. It's knowing our numbers, right? It's knowing our risk factor, knowing our family history where possible. I have a friend that is adopted, so there's no commonality to talk to with family to know any history. So it's just she does her own thing. She has all of her numbers, she has all of her tests, and she has a baseline. So this will also wrap into mammographies, right? If you haven't had yours yet, have one now, because healthy boobs help indicate when there may not be healthy, or there might be a blip or a blur on your scan. I've had two scares, but because we had healthy mammographies, mammograms beforehand to see, we know certain things about my breasts. And given my heart condition, we know some more things. So we can pay attention. My mother never smoked a day in her life and had lung cancer. So but we both were involved with secondhand smoke most of our lives. It's just being the awareness, letting your medical professionals know, and at some point getting an x-ray. It doesn't mean you're going to catch every single thing. We live in a carcinogenic world. There's crap in the air we breathe. So, we really have to be our own stewards of our own body. And I will put that, I have the recipes in the description, and I will put that person in there. Her name is Elle, and for the life of me, maybe before I sign off, I'll put it on there. So we're going to talk about healthy eating again. And so what they recommend for exercise, I don't do this, so no halo here. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate to intense exercise, or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise. Look, let's step back. If we haven't been doing those things, don't jump into it. Start with a walk, a normal everyday walk. If you walk for 10 minutes and then you walk 10 minutes back, that's perfect. If you can extend that to 15 minutes the following week, that's how you build yourself up. If you're younger, anybody that's younger than me, so if you're in your 30s, 40s, early 50s, and you feel like you've got all this, energy, you still have bone mass, you still have muscle mass, go out and power walk. One of the things that I did do when I was walking more diligently, so it has to be 3 years now, because I've been in this apartment, like I said, almost 3 years, and I haven't done this walk. I will use my water bottles as my weights when I walk. So I always have one in each hand, and I pump. And if I drink from one, I drink from the other to sort of balance it out. That's a great way to walk, power walk, and you're getting your heart rate up. You don't have to run. Now, I used to love to run. My body would laugh at me if I tried to run, because my joints can't handle it. But the other thing is find something else that is entertaining. If you're a swimmer, go swimming. If you like to bike ride and you have a bike, go bike ride. Don't go buy a bike. I'm a proponent of do it first. If you like it, then buy it. So don't buy a whole gym and then you never use it, because some of us have done that. And it looks really good with all the clothes hanging on it. So if you're not going to be committed to the process, don't do it. It's expensive. I have friends that have gotten, Maya, even if it's chair or couch exercise, I will do it. So yes, it's called moving the body somehow. And here's one of the things that I would recommend with exercise, especially if you are somebody who hasn't done it in a long time. Every commercial that came on TV, I would do something. And I'm not kidding you. All right, I have an empty water bottle and a half full. I would sit here and just do this. I hope my lids are on. So I would do this, right? And I would do it for the commercial. I changed my positions, and that was for commercial one. For commercial two, I would get up and do squats. For commercial three, I would do it's sort of a stretch. I got my body moving through commercials. It took about 2.5, 3 weeks for me to feel like I could walk further after that point, and I had more energy. My depression was much more in check. So I know you're kidding around a little bit, but yes. Any hi, Jimena. Sorry, I was choking on my own air. I was getting excited about exercise. Go figure. So it's really critical to move. And all I can think of is from Happy Feet. Um, you got to move it. You got to move it. And I would just move it, move it. So use some song in your head that will make you move. I think I shared, Brazy, I think you were there with me when I said I love Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And that not only does that song get me up off my tuchus, but it gets me moving. It gets me pumped. It gets my brain like, yeah, I'm not going to take this crap. I got knocked down. I'm getting back up. So that's what I'm going to do. You're supposed to go for snacks during commercials. I almost peed my pants, Crazy. So I'm sorry. That was really good. Thank you. um, oh, you two are killing me, you guys. My oh, we're gonna no, don't stop. You're cracking me up, and I think we should have a Zoom doing this because that would be hysterical. And we should bring our favorite snacks. Okay, so we talked about regular exercising, and here's the thing. And I'm not going to do it this month, but I will. You guys put this in your head. If you all want to form a, I hate using the word support group, but if you can find a better word, let me know. Phrase. Let's challenge ourselves for the month of March. And even if it's, we do it on this channel together, we do it in a Zoom together, we just talk about it on a Zoom. Somehow encouraging each other. Hey, Melly, thanks for being here. Find a way to inspire each other to eat better and to exercise. Women need, and men need to take care of each other. We need to encourage each other. I'm not telling everybody to do drastic changes. But if you are a smoker, please consider quitting smoking. Easier said than done, no judgment, but it is a contributor to heart disease. So that's between you and your provider and yourself. What is it that, it's something that we're addicted to. Smoking is one of the most difficult things to quit. I know that from my hypnosis practice. Sugar is probably right up there with cigarette smoking. Although you can quit smoking in 2 sessions with hypnosis, and with sugar, it takes 3 to 6 sessions to quit bad eating habits. Great. Excellent, Jimena. I'm counting you in, girl. So stress management, I love my cardiologist. He is the one who saved me in the ER. So one of the things he says is, with his beautiful accent, he says to me, Teresa, you need to reduce, your stress. Then I laugh. I'm like, well, how does one go about that? And for me at the time, there were many factors. I am a very passionate individual. I like to chalk it up to being Italian. But as so many of you in the chat have shared, there is no cultural difference. We have our own, within our cultures, some cultures may be more subdued, and others of us are very passionate and very over the top. And I never managed my stress well. I did when I was exercising. Um, and because there was a balance, meditation, yoga, deep breathing. And one of the things that I have learned with my breathing is to calm myself down. Here's the thing, and this is like I said at the top of the hour. Um, I had a meltdown yesterday and the day before. So had I used my breathing, I probably wouldn't have had such a severe meltdown. I probably wouldn't have found myself weeping. So, yes, Millie, I'm going to talk about hypnosis probably Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, because I've been talking a lot about it and I don't want people to feel intimidated by the topic. Um, and yeah, Ben, cigarettes, they do the same damage as opioids. It's very, very hard. I'm not an expert in it, but I know that, um, look, stuff isn't good for us. I was kidding earlier, I will not eat devil dogs. I will not eat devil dogs. But it wasn't necessarily the act of eating the devil dog for me. It was the act of stuffing my face with something that comforted me and that brought me to a familiar, safe space. So we really do need to focus in more positively on those things that can help reduce our risk for heart attacks and heart disease. See your doctors. I know, at least in the US, again, I can't speak for other countries, but in the US, our healthcare system varies sometimes from state to state, city to city. It really is, job to job. If you can, when you get checked up by your doctor, have them do some of these tests. Know your cholesterol levels, because that is something you can change without medication. And blood pressure, same thing. And whether you come to my meditation, Jimenez, Lindsay's, Truth Waves, I mean, there's, so many folks here that do it within our community, let alone extended. I think I had mentioned Ben Carroll during the holidays. He does these singing bowls, but he also chants. And it is hauntingly calming, relaxing, soothing. I literally, had the dogs not barked that day, I found myself floating and going outside me. And I've been working so hard on trying to do that. And not the puppy's fault, because there was another puppy that walked by and they needed to tell me about it. But I was so close to that inner something. He's really somebody I enjoy. And I'm probably going to need to tap into Ben or somebody with experience, Jimena. I'd like to start displaying some of your channels that I'm a fan of, that I watch. So, it's, and actually, Millie, I just subscribed to your channel. I didn't even know what it was until I saw Truth Wave today at the end of his. So I just signed up to yours. I'm really excited to see what you're all about. But, I want us to lift each other up. And I had a conversation with Jimena and somebody else. We may have similar subjects. We have different ways of getting to the same point. I have never been threatened by other people doing exactly what I'm doing. In my professional career, people would say, why are you sharing this information with your staff? They could take your job. I'm like, great. We have to raise each other up. This is raising the vibration. When I left my job in Boston at one of the biggest hospitals, I had 20 staff reporting to me. There was a layoff coming up, and I helped write resumes for 12 of those 20. And I got jobs for 10 of those 12. I am not threatened. I'm not threatened by other women. Women, we can seriously rule the world, because we have to, as caregivers multitask so many things. And yeah, it's overwhelming, but we also have a level of compassion. I will say, in my professional journey, I have met some really not nice ladies, not nice women that were not about raising the vibration. I understand where they're coming from, but it's talk about, karma. But let's get back. I digress. Sorry. So regular checkups, know your numbers, be aware of your blood pressure numbers, your cholesterol numbers, your body mass index. And for those of you who are pregnant, I can't exactly talk about it, except that there are sometimes underlying factors. And I would assume that you're going to talk to your physician about it. Menopause, it doesn't cause heart disease, but those hormonal changes whack you out. So know your numbers. And if you're premenopausal right now, know your numbers today. Know them, because your menopause will change things and you won't know if you're out of whack or not. And be a resource to each other. We really do. We stress over everything and nothing, and men do too. So this is not an exclusion here. Ben is so you put your blush mask on, Ben, but he's one of the kindest people that I have met in this YouTube village that we have. Smart, intuitive, thoughtful. And so it's also my experience, and I'm seeing Millie saying it, men don't have a tendency to get petty about things. Women, we judge so quickly, we hurt each other, or we're so wounded by women. Our feelings get hurt so fast. And I don't understand it. And I only grew up with boys. So when I was introduced and went to school and met girls, they never liked me because I called it like it is. I mean, I was like, well, you're being a jerk. That's why you're having a problem. And then I was, the Antichrist for a while. It took me a long time, and I always had men friends. And it did change after a while, and it's balanced. And I have a really core group of women friends, and I met some of the best people in college. I think the core of my friends have come from there and have remained. And I've met some other women outside of that over the years that I would consider very special to me. We all just live so far apart from each other. And I truly miss getting hugs. I truly miss that touch. So if you're in a relationship, you have kids, you have parents, you have siblings, anybody that is receptive to getting a hug, just freaking get a hug, because it really does raise your vibration. It brings you up. And so, all right, I just want to talk a little bit about the recipe, and I want to try to remember to find, while I'm talking to you guys, let me find my friend's name. So let me go to Facebook and pull her information in. And I just saw she did something today or yesterday. Search. Am I spelling it wrong? That's not her. Come on, Teresa, you can remember it. You'll come to me. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Where did it go? She just might have the name of her channel, and that's her Facebook. Where is it? All right, I'll find it and put it in. I don't want to waste your time, and we're coming up on the hour. I'll keep scrolling as I'm talking to you guys, but I'm getting distracted, and I want to hit the chat before the end. Now, what I would like in the comments after this, I would love to know if one, you'd be interested in reading with me Let Them by Mel Robbins. If you go to your favorite bookstore or library and pick up a copy, I would love us to read it together. I think one of the things that I know I need to learn is to let them. If it has nothing to do with me and it's aggravating me, I need to learn to let them, let it go. And I think we'll be happier people. And I'd love to share that. So I want to start it'll probably be like a Sunday afternoon Zoom chat, and I would keep it to an hour or so. So if you're interested in that, please, after this, put it in the comments below so I can gauge interest. I also, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh, hypnosis. So I would like to talk about it on Tuesday. And you know what? I'm just going to talk about it Tuesday. I was going to ask you to, yeah, Millie, absolutely. She's very, she's not perfect either, right? So I love the lessons that she's taught, and she's not the only writer I want to talk about. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to see. And if you guys want to participate, that would be wonderful for me. Again, it engages us together to talk about something. It builds relationships and community, which is something I want. And one of the things that I've learned through my healing journey is just because I want it doesn't mean everybody wants it. So I want to be aware of that and invite people. And so Tuesday, I'm going to talk about hypnosis and how we can change the chemistry in our brain for whatever it is we choose. Please know, nothing in hypnosis can make you do anything against your will. If it is not in your will, for example, if somebody said to stand in your head and whistle Dixie, if that's against everything in your body, you will not do it. So please know that it is very rare that you are manipulated to do something against your will. And so just to keep that in mind. All right, I just want to quickly go to the chat and see where I've missed. Well, I'm squinting. Hold, please. Glasses. We will talk about the alpha state. Yep. All right. So let me just. All right. So I see. Now I can show. All right. I'm going to do this so I can show it. This is Ben. Chronic pain. He's not judging. He knows about this must have been the opioids discussion. And let's see, keep going. Yeah, so, let's be honest. Some of these things that hit our body can be debilitating. And I have to go see a specialist for rheumatoid arthritis. And one of the things that is with inflammation. I am going to be doing a huge deep dive into food-based anti-inflammatory resolution before I start medicines, because as we all know, you take a medicine and there's contraindications of 1,000 other things, and I start to grow horns and all this stuff. So I really want to try not to do that if I can help it. That's the same thing with cholesterol, right? And blood pressure. Are there other non-medicinal ways that can help us? I'm pro medication if you need it. I have been on so many, it's really difficult for me to realize. For a while, I was on an antidepressant. I was more depressed on it. And until they weaned me off of it, we didn't know that. But I insisted. I'm like, there's something not right. I feel worse on this medicine than I did off of it. So we do need to have these conversations. We do need to figure out what works for us and can we do it more healthfully? And yes, it's going to take time. But anyway, I'm all for supporting each other. So yes, thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, that's great. So I'm going to highlight this. Hold on. I'm learning this. Bear with me, guys. Let's get out of that. Here. So Millie said that she downloads and keeps all of her lab work. That's amazing. And I think each of us, if we have a portal, should know what our numbers are and when we're due for checkups. Totally, totally. And yes, so Ben does study um, body language, and he has for a long time. And I think that we all need to be more aware of who we are and who we're talking about, and to be more open minded. And this is tough, man. This is tough. All right, so let's see. Ben, that's amazing. So, I because of the violence I've experienced in my life, I do not want male providers. However, my heart doctor is a male, and I won't move out of state because of this doctor. So it's also his demeanor and the way that he works with me. Um, Naturopaths are so critical, and there's not enough of them. So I hope that there are more. Homeopathic medicine is I think going to be a boon in the industry if we can get enough providers to do it. I totally miss hugs. Totally miss hugs. And I think that's what I miss most about my mom and not having her around. Now she wouldn't say she's the best hugger. I'm the best hugger. Because after a while she'd be like, okay, girl, you're encroaching on my space. But there is something about that comfort and love. So, one of the things that we do with Reiki, energy work, even in hypnosis, it's really, and in my therapy, and my therapist is the one who taught me this a while ago, is really this is to comfort you. This is to demonstrate that you're loved and you're worthy. Putting the hand on the heart is something that I have worked on as well. It's like acknowledging that our voice, our body, our minds are important. I'm running over time. So sorry. So I'm not going to get to all of these because I want to be cognizant of other people going live. But so I just want to mention, where was it? I just saw it. I saw Jimena here. Hold on. Her mom. Shoot. Do. All right. I just saw. I scrolled too fast. Well, and I mentioned that her mom, yes, is a doula and used hypnosis for hypnobirthing. And my boss, the woman who taught me, had done hypnobirthing, and she's amazing at it. So that's really, to me, very important. So what I'm going to do, I know some of you have just written some beautiful things. Thank you so much. In the description afterwards, I'm going to find that person that I talked about for menopause, and her specialty, and put it in here. I would absolutely love the engagement in the comments afterwards. Don't forget to thumbs up and like, subscribe and like, tell all your friends. But I'm going to continue this Tuesday. I'm going to talk about hypnotherapy, wrapping along with our high vibration as well as our heart health. But it'll be mostly on how hypnosis can help us achieve what we need to achieve. That's an option rather than medications. So we'll talk about that, and then I'm going to start scheduling these. So I'll be talking to some of my friends here on YouTube to help me create banners, to help keep the showing your channels on this. I still don't have anybody yet as a mod, simply because I'm not big enough, but I look forward to having that in the future. And I think with all that, guys, I really appreciate you being here. And may the blessings and light and love and healing be shared upon you and fill your day with laughter and love and some giggles. Until next time, and here's my new ending if I do it correctly. So if I hit end stream, oh shoot. Ben, if I hit end stream and then put it, or do I hit this first? Well, I'm going to hit this first. We'll see. I might be wrong, guys, so just bear with me, but I have an outro. So let's see if it works.
It's okay to let go. You're not alone. Stand your ground. Take it slow. The way you've been shown. Trust yourself, you to get